everyone. Thank you for joining me on our YouTube channel. I'm Star. A couple of months ago, I did a video called Some of Y'all Really Need Time Management, and it shows. And 2 months later, some of y'all still really need time management. And I don't know how many videos I can make about this or how much I can talk to you before I feel like I'm talking to a wall. This is tough love, by the way. So get comfortable, settle in, and get ready to hear some truths and some tough love. But, you know, every time I do one of these videos, I'll have a handful of people who see the light, so to speak, and implement some of the advice I give, or just take a really hard look at their day and their schedule and where they're wasting time and what they're doing, and become more productive. And then I'll get messages from them in a couple of weeks. Like, I really listened to you, and I did this and I did that, or I tried something new, and I'm listing way more, and I'm making way more money and more sales and more profits. And that's great. But then I look at the vast majority of folks who just one in one ear and out the other, and they're still wasting time on a ton of things. I mean, there's a lot of things that y'all waste time on, and just not working at your fullest potential. And so that's what I want to impress upon you guys, and why I get this way, why I do the tough love, why I get frustrated with you guys. When you're fiddle farting around and you're effing off and you're not working, when you're just screwing around and acting like working from home and being your own boss is one great big party, you are not working at your own personal fullest potential. Everybody's is different, but what is your fullest potential, and how much more successful could you be? And if you were at your fullest potential, how would your sales increase? How many more sales would you have? How much more profit would you have? Would you have a bunch of more money to scale your business up, to buy more inventory? Would you have enough money to pay off a car or a college bill or another bill or some debt somewhere? Would you have enough money to go on a family vacation? You have to think of the big picture. Day to day today, it's very easy to get caught up in the, oh, I'm at home, I'm bored, I'm distracted, I have all of these excuses, and so I can just fiddle fart around and not work to my fullest potential. And for day to day, I can see how that can happen. Working from home and being your own boss is the hardest thing you're ever going to do. You have to have discipline. You have to be able to force yourself to stay on a schedule and stick to routines, or you're going to continue to keep falling off and getting distracted and telling yourself way too often, it's okay if I take half a day off or a day off, because before you know it, all of that adds up and you're hardly working at all. And you're not making the amount of money you could be making. And that's not, a sign of greed. The more money you make, the more inventory you can buy, which then is more money. And then you can pay off more debts, and you can do things for your family and your friends and yourself. And you can go on vacations, and you can get a house if you are renting, or you can get a better car, or you can get the dog you always wanted, but you couldn't afford the vet insurance. There's just so many things in life that all of us want and dream about and think about that you could actually attain if you were working at your fullest potential. So that little lecture aside, I did in my Facebook group. If you're not a member, it's called Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod. You should absolutely be a member. It's a really great group full of really amazing resellers from all walks of life, all different situations, from hobby sellers to professional sellers to people who've been doing it for 20 years, people who specialize in everything. The group has a heavy leaning towards Plush because it's my group, but there's a lot of people in there who do a lot of different things, and everyone is so nice. And we do fun things like themed posts. Like on Tuesdays, we do Spill the Tea. So a couple of weeks ago, I asked y'all, Where do you waste the most time on? And I asked you guys to be really honest, think about it, and tell the truth. And then admit it in our Spill the Tea post that we do in the group. So I'm just going to read some of these without, putting people's names out there, and kind of help you to understand where you can avoid some of these pitfalls. So what are the things I see the most as an answer is I get distracted. So get rid of the distractions. What's distracting you? Is it your pets? Is it your kids? Is it the TV? Is it the radio? Is it outside noise? Is it your spouse? Whatever it is, you can find a way to work around it. If it's outside noises, do you have a room where you can close yourself off? You don't necessarily have to have a big giant house with a room for an office. Not everyone does. But do you have a space where you can close yourself off for 4 hours a day to really take photographs and get down to the nitty-gritty and list and get some real work done? If it's your kids, do they go to school? Can you work your work schedule around them not being in the home when you're trying to work? Can you work late at night after they're in bed? Can you get up early and work while they're in bed? I see a lot of moms that do those things, that work while their kids are in bed or at school. If the distraction is TV or radio, turn it off. Don't allow yourself to be distracted. If it's your pet, again, is there somewhere you can go to close yourself off from your animal for a little while so they're not bothering you? Everyone's distractions are going to be different, but I guarantee you there are ways to avoid them, from the simple thing of just turning your TV off to very creative ways of finding places in your home or times to work where these distractions won't be as apparent. Facebook and YouTube, I see that over and over again. Turn it off. If your TV or your YouTube or your podcast or your audiobooks, whatever it is, radio, music, if it's distracting you from working, turn it off. Stop trying to watch TV while you work if you are incapable of doing it. Some people are. Listen, I watch 3 to 4 movies a day while I work because I am fully capable of putting a movie on in the background and continuing to work and being productive. I need that background noise. For me, complete silence is the distraction. If I'm in a completely silent space and there is no background noise whatsoever, I get distracted because I can't focus and I can't think. And that's just how some folks are. So if you can turn the TV or a movie on and you can do both and you can multitask and stay on task and be productive, by all means, watch movies all day. But not everyone is that way. Some people need the complete silence to focus and work. And if you're one of those folks, turn the stuff off. Facebook. Guys, you got to stay off Facebook. You have to limit yourself and use it as a reward. That would be my suggestion and my advice for YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all of the social medias. When you accomplish something on your to-do list or you accomplish a task, reward yourself with Facebook or the social medias that of your choice, Instagram or whatever, but put yourself on a timer. So say I'm going to photograph 10 pairs of jeans, then I'm going to spend 10 minutes on Facebook. Do not get on Facebook until you've finished your photographs. Set a timer, and when that timer goes off, you're done. You're off Facebook. You're on to the next thing on your to-do list. Now, are you listing those 10 pairs of jeans? When they're done and they're listed, go back to Facebook or Instagram, set your timer, but you have to be disciplined about it. You have to make sure that you're accomplishing things and rewarding yourself with the enjoyable stuff, but on a timer. If you like to watch TV, but it distracts you from working, make an agreement with yourself. Say, I get X amount of work done every day before I break for lunch. And then when I break for lunch, I take a half an hour to an hour for lunch and watch one of my favorite shows on TV while I eat. But when I'm done eating and that one episode is done, TV's back off and I'm back to work. Another thing you need to do is get into a really good routine and a really good schedule. Those are imperative for success. Every successful person has a routine and has a schedule that they stick to. They also write things down. I have been telling you guys this for years, and I cannot impress it upon you enough. My number one go-to is a bullet journal. But I also have other notebooks that I keep around with notes and lists and videos I want to make. I have this notebook, I have a small notebook, and I have a bullet journal. And I write everything down. All my ideas, my to-do list, everything I want to accomplish in every day, my schedules, my routines. But if you don't want to have a bullet journal, just get a notebook. You know what? This was 25 cents at Walmart. It's just a cheap little notebook. The little tiny spiral top one I use was like 10 cents because I got like 10 for $1. Get a napkin, write on a napkin. Get a paper towel and write on a paper towel. Get the back of an envelope from a piece of junk mail and write on that. I don't care what you're writing on, but you need to have some sense of focus and some sense of planning every day. You need to have a routine and a schedule, and you also need to have a to-do list for every day. This is a job. You need to treat this like a job. Back when you used to work outside of the home and you had to commute and you had to clock in at a certain time and clock out at a certain time, you had a schedule, you had a routine, you had a time that you started and a time that you ended. And in between there, you had, your tasks for the day, whatever your job was. Think back, you had a routine, you had a schedule, you had a way of doing things each day. You need to still be doing that. It doesn't have to be specific times. You can be a little more loosey-goosey because we do work from home and we work for ourselves. You can work around your family and your friends and work around your life. You don't have to be strictly from 6 to 2 or 9 to 5 like you used to be. You can work a couple hours in the morning, a couple hours in the evening, whatever you need to do. You need to make this job work with your life. Whatever your life looks like, whatever's on your plate, whatever your family, friends, and personal health responsibilities are. You need to work around that, but you need to have that set routine in place. Maybe you do want to work from 9 to 5. Maybe you want to work from 6 to noon and then 2 hours at night. Whatever it is for you, write it down and stick with it and do it every day. Have a routine, have a schedule. It doesn't have to be specific times. You could just have like an order of how you do things. I get up in the morning, I exercise, I eat my breakfast, I take the dog for a walk, I take photographs, then I take a shower, I put the kids on the bus, then I list, whatever it is. You could just have like the same kind of routine every day, but no specific rigid, strict times. Some people need rigid, strict times. Some people don't. You have to figure out what it is that you need to be successful and force yourself to do that. So if that's turning off the TV and working in the quiet and working, a strict schedule time-wise, if you're someone like me that can just kind of get up and do the same things in the same order and watch movies while you do it, figure that out. But you have to stick to it. But I see that most of the answers on this, now that I'm looking at it again, are social media, Facebook, TV, movies, distractions. Get rid of all of those, guys. If sourcing is becoming a distraction for you, then maybe you need to schedule your sourcing time and say, I only go sourcing on these days or to these stores on this day and these stores this day. I see lots of lack of organization or a schedule, which I feel like I really just touched upon a lot. Here's another watching TV. Wanting to clean the house. Okay, so that falls back into the routines and the schedules. Yes, we're home all day, and yes, we're going to notice that things need cleaned. But you didn't leave your job when you worked outside of the home. You didn't realize I didn't empty the dishwasher out, or I didn't sweep or mop. You didn't leave your job and drive home to do the cleaning. You stayed at work and you finished your workday, and then you dealt with the housework in the evenings or on the weekends, right? Same thing. You've got to have a schedule. If you want to have a chunk of time every day that you put your cleaning in, do it. Put it in your schedule. Put it in your routine. I can also suggest that you guys look up Fly Lady. I've been following her for 20 years, and she has some really good advice and routines and ways of organization and cleaning that help a lot of people. Procrastinating. These are all things that are going to fall right back in with the routines and the schedule. If you know every day when you get up, you have a schedule you follow and you have certain routines that you follow, you're going to do them. You're not going to procrastinate because this is what I do and this is what I do next. And after that, I do this and then I do that. Video games. Yeah, so stuff like that, those are rewards. At the end of the day, if I have finished everything that I needed to finish that day, I get to sit down and either watch a movie that I actually have to pay attention to, because there's two kinds of movies in the world to me. There's ones that can run in the background. I just kind of listen to them and work. And there's ones that I actually need to focus on and watch, like Marvel movies and certain horror movies. I also really enjoy reading. So sometimes my reward at the end of the day is sitting down with a good book and a cocktail. I relax. You have to keep those kinds of things as your rewards. You can't fart around in the middle of the day, but if you finish all of your stuff, take a break. End your day every day doing something you love to do, knowing that you earned it because you worked hard all day. So that is my little spiel of tough love for you guys, because some of y'all are just the same things over and over and over and over again. And sometimes it's the same people. I see someone complaining 6 months ago that Facebook was a distraction, and they're still saying that. Stop it. Stop it. Get your work done first. Set a timer. This is a job, and you need to treat it as such. Just think about what I said. Like, you wouldn't leave your old job to come home and clean. You wouldn't have farted around at work either, right? You wouldn't have gotten on Facebook or watched TV or whatever. It's a job. You don't treat it like a job, or it's not going to pay you like a job. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below. Join our Facebook group, Flippin' Hippos Reseller Pod, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up before you leave. Helps the channel so much. Subscribe if you haven't. My chair is squeaky. I'm sorry. Subscribe if you haven't, and go be productive. Go make some money, but most of all, be productive. Get something to write on and a writing utensil, and create a routine and a schedule for yourself, and make a to-do list every day. You can do it before bed at night for the next day or first thing in the morning. Again, that's a personality trait you're going to have to figure out for yourself. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Y'all are the best. Bye.